Diane in Denmark here, and what day is it today? Well, let me just grab my pom-poms. Hooray! It's the day that my daughter goes back to school. She's just left on her bike off down to the station. My son starts at gymnasia tomorrow, and I said that last week that I would do a little kind of tips and tricks on back to school, because back to school, you know, on one hand, we're kind of, we don't want the summer holidays to end, and you know, we've just been not really going through our routines as we normally do and just chilling. And then on the other hand, we're kind of quite excited because it's like a fresh start, you know, it's like the 1st of January, and we get the chance to wipe the slate clean, and this school year we're going to do it properly, and we're going to hand in forms on time, and the kids are going to do their homework, and we will have the perfect lunches planned for them. And you know, before we know it, we're kind of tripping over our feet, and we kind of stop dead in our tracks before we get started, you know, because we kind of get overwhelmed by all these ideas and things that we're going to do. So I said to you I would just give you a few tips, a few things that I've learned from the Flylady system that helps with this back to school thing. And this back to school thing is not just for the kids, it's for you if you're going back to work, if you've been in a rut for a while, you know, in the summer rut, and you want to get going again. So these tips I hope will work for you, you know, whatever your situation is. So I've noted down a few things. Let me just set my timer because I don't want to go on for too long today. I've got stuff I want to do. And you might want to have, you know, a pencil and paper ready to write some things down. You may want to add, you know, these things to your control journal if you made a control journal. But the main thing is that, you know, we think, you know, this is a fresh start. It's a fresh start, but like everything else, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we're not looking for that picture perfect. You can look, you know, you'll see it all over the web right now, on Pinterest, in the newspapers, on the television, and you'll have all these ideas of what you can do. But anyway, these are things that have popped into my head since last week, things that we've been working on as a family. And let's just dive right in. I've started the timer. Okay, so the first thing that you might need to think about is school uniform. And you know, I know a lot of you, your kids don't have a uniform. In Denmark, kids don't wear a uniform. In Scotland, they do wear a uniform. But just think about their clothes for every day at school. If they have a uniform, do you need to get, you know, if they wear a blazer, does that need to be dry cleaned? Have you got things that need washed and pressed? Have they grown out of what they were wearing last term? You know, that's always an issue when you've got kids and they just kind of sprout all the time. So think about their uniform, or what are they wearing on a day-to-day basis. Have you got that ready? Have you got a few outfits just for the first days of school? And think about also, you know, sports clothes, gym clothes, gym bag. You know, where is that gym bag? Did it get thrown in the corner of their bedroom somewhere and it's been lying there over the holidays? Maybe you want to go and look for that gym bag, find the football boots, the football cleats, you know, just think about that. What are they going to be wearing? What are they going to need for gym class? Our kids at school, you know, they have, or they had when they were younger, swimming lessons. That was part of the curriculum. So, you know, do they have swimming goggles, you know, a towel, water bottle, you know, whatever it is, just think about what they're going to be using, and get the kids on it too, because they might need to try on things or things that they don't like wearing anymore. So that was one thing. Also, think about your uniform, because, you know, you are the mum, you're looking after everybody else, and you know, you've seen me in all these videos, and you know, this is my uniform. You know, I've got either some kind of coloured jeans, or you know, comfy trousers, or my dark jeans, plus a top, and I always have a cardigan or a jacket that I can throw on, you know, if I'm going out to meet friends, or if I've got appointments. Actually, I'm going to take off because it's quite warm here in Denmark today. So think about your uniform. And I don't know if you remember, a couple of weeks ago we did a challenge, the virtual retreat challenge, and the very first thing I asked you to do was to look out for outfits, so that we're not kind of wearing the same thing every day, but try and establish a kind of uniform for yourself. What is your uniform? And think about jewelry or your shoes, just so that you're ready, so that when school starts, you're not kind of you've kind of overslept, you don't know what you're wearing. This is all part of the Flyladies, the Flylady routines. We're just looking ahead and getting ready, because there'll be plenty of days where you sleep in or something goes wrong, and it's so nice just to have some things planned. So think about the kids' uniform, or what they're going to be wearing at school, sports clothes, all that jazz, and your uniform. What are you going to be wearing for your uniform? And make sure it's not the same thing every day. You've not to wear the same t-shirt every day for 4 years and just for 4 days in a row and just keep adding more deodorant. No, try and wear 4 different things, but stick to something that suits you, you feel comfy in, but you don't need to be walking around in cleaning clothes all day. All right. Okay, so that was it for kind of uniform stuff like that. The next thing is food. Now, either your kids eat lunch at school. Do they need to have money with them? Do you need to pay for that in advance? I don't know what it's like where you are. Here in Denmark, we don't have school lunches. That's not a thing here. Everybody takes a packed lunch with them. So make sure, we went through in the kitchen yesterday, we went through the drawer that contains all the packed lunch boxes and all the water bottles. We got rid of a couple and we identified the ones that the kids want to use. So, think about that. Do you need to get a new packed lunch box, new water bottle? Is there one lying in the school bag that has been in there since the end of June? Go and have a hunt. And also think about, what are you going to be giving the kids for breakfast? Snacks, lunches. But remember, because we fly babies, we have the tendency to do nothing at all, and then suddenly it's back to school, and we're doing that thing, we're on Pinterest looking at all the different snacks. Just keep it, as we say, KISS, keep it simple, sweetie. Just, if you want to add in one new snack that you want to try, that's good, but just identify what you usually do and add in things gradually. Don't, I would often make that mistake. The first week back, I was threading fruit on, kebab sticks and trying to make it all kind of fancy. And you know what? The kids weren't that interested. It was more my idea that, I had to provide them with 10 different healthy snacks, or else I wasn't a good mum. So keep it balanced, but kind of plan. If you're intending to give them like a cooked breakfast, plan ahead. Make sure you set the breakfast table the night before. That's one of the things we do. Or, we have maybe pancakes or waffles 1 or 2 mornings a week. The rest of the time it's porridge or oatmeal, as I cook in the Instant Pot. I have that in the timer overnight. But we keep it simple. We're not kind of doing those things every morning, because that's just too stressful. I haven't got time for that. So anyway, that was it about food and drink. Oh yes, how does your kid get to school? Both my kids bike to school, but do you carpool, or do you have to set up something with the school, or what do you need to do to make sure that they can get to the school bus on time? My daughter also, she bikes and then she goes on the train. So that was something that we almost forgot about last night, but we did it, was to renew her train pass. So, do your kids need bus money? Have they got a bus pass? All those little things, write that down. And I'm coming at the end of this video. I'll give you a few tips so you don't get overwhelmed with dealing with all this. But this is just things that you need to think about. And what about, after school, outside school? Do they go to a school club? School clubs are very popular here in Denmark. So, do you need to get them signed up for something? We have everything from Chinese lessons to manga to parkour, fencing. The same again, do they need any equipment for that? Do you need to get them signed up for it? Maybe they have a job after school. My son, 2 years ago, he was working at the local library. He was, I don't know what you call it in English, but it's a book putter-upper. He would at the library, they have all these books, they need to go back on the shelves, and he had a job there for a couple of hours every week, putting books on shelves. So think about that. Is there anything that you need to get your kids signed up for, or is there anything that you need to prepare? Will they be coming home late 2 nights a week because they've been at band practice or at football practice? And that's where you can think about, planning crock pot meals those days, or easy things like soup and sandwiches. Please make it easy on yourself. Now, before I get all over the place and before you get all overwhelmed about all these things, I hope you've just written down a few ideas. But what you're going to do is try and make it easy on yourself and fit it in with what you're already doing if you're following the Flylady's basic weekly plan. Now, if you're a new fly baby, don't worry about all the terminology and stuff. All you need to know is that in the Flylady system, in order to stop us worrying the whole time, and having all these things in our head, what am I supposed to be doing? And, but what about this? What about that? We can kind of calm ourselves down because we have a basic weekly plan. And all that means is that each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have a purpose, a set purpose for the day. Now, it's not as, don't get worried and thinking, oh dear, I have to do set things. All it is like using 10 or 15 minutes on each of those days to focus on what needs to be done. And we've got, for example, Tuesday today is it's called Plan and Play Tuesday. And I've done a whole playlist, I'll put the link up there, which explains each day and each purpose. And you don't need to do Plan and Play on a Tuesday. If it suits you to do it another day, that's fine. But all we have is we've kind of got our week mapped out so that we're not kind of chasing our tails the whole time, and we do one thing on one day, another thing on another day, and that way we just keep it rolling and we know that things are covered. So today's Plan and Play Tuesday. That's the day that in Flylady Land, we plan meals, you go through your bank statements. If you're working on, organising a wedding, a party, you want to get your planner out and make a few notes. On Plan and Play Tuesday, why don't you go ahead and plan your meals for the week, or breakfasts for the week, or snacks that you want to put into your kids' lunch boxes. So, that's the kind of thing that you can do on a Tuesday. On Friday in Flylady Land, it's clean out your purse and clean out your car. Why don't you go ahead and, I've said this before, but when the kids come home Friday afternoon or Friday evening, get them to look through their school bag and their sports bag and make sure that, if there's any papers, that they hand them over to you, or that if they've got football kit that needs washing, that goes into the washing machine. I mean, hopefully they're emptying out their school bags every day in an ideal world, but I know like you do, that doesn't always happen. So on Friday, when you are tidying out your handbag or your sports bag or your diaper bag, your baby changing bag, that you get the kids to do the same. So that way you know, we're kind of taking care of this back to school thing in an easy way. We're just splitting up like we do, you know, with the rest of the Flylady system. We've got different days for different things. You know, Monday is weekly home blessing. Maybe the kids can do, you know, something in their rooms, that they take out the trash or pick up everything from the floor. You know, just use the Flylady's basic weekly plan to keep you on track with all of these things. Right, and there's probably 100 other tips that I could give you, but these were just things that I've been thinking about the last week and that we have been working on. And the main thing here is not to think, you know, that all seems too much. Just write it down, and then you're going to go through it, you know, and just tick things off. And, you know, I've mentioned before about the Getting Things Done system. Getting Things Done system is by David Allen. You can go and search, Google that. It fits in really well with the Flylady system, because Getting Things Done system is basically taking, you know, for example, back to school. What do you need to do? You know, I've just said to you about uniform, you know, for uniform for the kids. And instead of just writing down uniform, once you've written down uniform, you need to think, what is the next action step I need to take? What is going to make that happen? Is it, you know, find the uniform in somewhere in the kids' bedroom, or is it take the uniform to the dry cleaners, or put the uniform in the washing basket and wash it, or is it, you know, for errand day on Thursday, write down that, oh, we need to buy new shoes. So we're just taking what we need to get done. Oh, there goes timer. Taking what needs to get done and looking at what is the next action that you need to take to get it done. Right, I'm going to stop here because I've been rambling all over the place, but I think, you know, I'm quite excited this morning. And the last thing I want to say about getting back to school and all this is, please keep going with your routines, because I also know, you know, we get excited at all the school things and all these ideas and all the things that we're going to do, but it's the routines that are going to take you through this school year and that are going to make life bearable for you. So don't, you know, routines first and all the rest second. On which note, I'm going to finish my morning routine, because I've run the dishwasher, we've had breakfast, my daughter's off to school, I am dressed to shoes, I'm dressed to indoor elasticated sandals, because, and these are old sandals that I cleaned up and I use for around the house when it's warm, when it's hot here. And the last thing on my morning routine was laundry, and I'm making this video while the laundry was on its last spin, and I'm about to go outside and hang it up because it's a beautiful sunny day. So that's it for me, Diane in Denmark. Good luck with back to school, and I shall see you tomorrow on Wednesday, Anti-Procrastination Day. And I shall be going through another lot of what I have decluttered this week. Remember, we're just doing that thing where we just identify one thing that we can declutter every day, and sometimes that snowballs into 2 or 3 items every day. Anyway, I shall see you tomorrow. I'm off to finish off my morning routine. Have a great Tuesday. Okay, live long and prosper. Signing off.